Sweet Home is one of the most human stories I've ever read. Its portrayal of humanity is one of the best I've ever seen. Humanity and desire are the heart of the story. The story discards the naive notion of clear cut good and evil. Instead, it paints an extremely nuanced picture of what would happen if someday, out of nowhere, people started turning into monsters, and people that haven't turned start having nosebleeds and hallucinating a stark white figure that tempts them with their greatest desire. What would most people do? What would you do when tempted with such an offer? An offer that removes the pain, the frustration, and the unfairness of your life with something comforting and easy. Hey everyone, I'm back with another video, and this time I'll be talking about Sweet Home and why you should read it. This is going to be a shorter video because it's been a while since I've read the story, but I found my notes on it from when I was reading it, and I thought it would be great to turn it into a video as I'm passionate about the story. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Sweet Home is a manhwa written by Kim Kanbi. It follows our protagonist Hyun, who at first glance is the stereotypical loser and loner. He is a school dropout and he is very clearly deeply traumatized by something, but instead of getting him proper help and care, his family treats him like a problem, especially his father and sister. His mother tries to help him but can't seem to connect with him properly. So, fast forwarding a bit, his entire family dies in a car accident, and then Hyun moves into an apartment building using his parents' savings. Unfortunately for him, this isn't even the start to his suffering, as some people start acting strange and start attacking others. What makes it even stranger is that these people are unnaturally agile and strong. But the strangest thing of all is that some of them keep repeating some key phrases and they start looking monstrous as if they were never the frail human at all. Now, Hyun must survive this awful situation. But he isn't alone, as several other people have also resisted turning into monsters. And all of them are doing their best to survive. Will the survivors prevail or will they fall prey to the monsters? The first reason why you should read Sweet Home is because of its characters. All of them are competently written and all of them respond to this situation in their own unique ways. The characters are varied and cover a wide spectrum of humans with unique motivations. A suicidal loner whose family and circumstances failed him. A dreamer whose idol slash lover left her the tattered remains of his dreams. An ex cop who's trying his best to keep the peace and order in this situation, especially between the survivors. A brother playing an unsavourily pragmatic role in order to protect his sister. A mechanic whose whole life turned upside down because he lost his leg being heroic. A devoted Christian who's trying his best to keep faith and hold fast to his ideals and belief in a time that feels awfully like Judgment Day. And a coward who can't help but be selfish and manipulative in self preservation. These are just a few from the bunch of entertaining and compelling characters that this series will throw your way. The second biggest reason to read Sweet Home is the theme of humanity and desire. That bastard desire is born of hope. All of us have desires, and they can be as grand as being a billionaire, having a multinational company, being the absolute pinnacle in your field, or being a hero. Or they can be as small as just maintaining a friendship, having time to read books, being able to always look pretty, or just simple self preservation. We all work ourselves to death trying to fulfill our desires. But most people misplace the importance of having desires. They focus on the destination rather than the journey. And that is what makes them unfulfilled in life. Because there is nothing in this world that will make you happy just by being in your possession. It's the struggle and the pursuit which makes desires appealing in reality, with most of the world's populace subscribing to the destination before journey mindset. What would happen if one day something were to offer every human everything that they've ever desired? And all they need to do is simply state their desires, and those will be granted with no strings attached. Would the entire world succumb to such an enticing offer? Or would they realize that everything has consequences? What would you do? Would you give in to the desire without even thinking of the consequences? Would the consequences even matter? All these unsettling questions are what lies at the core of Sweet Home. The consequences attached to such miraculous phenomenon are as dire as expected. Once someone gives in to desire, their body morphs into a monster that resembles a twisted fulfillment of their desire in some way, shape, or form. and it will start killing every person in sight. Their mind gets to live out their fantasy, but their body is no longer theirs to control. At first glance, it's easy to hand wave away such a choice and thinking it's a bad choice, that everyone should resist this fake salvation. But then you come face to face with the reality of the situation, where you'll see strangers, acquaintances, friends, and loved ones suffer and die in front of your eyes, as you're unable to do anything that'll make it stop. All you can do is maybe delay the inevitable. They will succumb to monsters, starvation, human cruelty, and fear, and so much more. You'll have to remain vigilant every moment of your life in order to avoid such a fate. But what is vigilance worth in the face of a supernatural entity whose only prerogative is to slaughter everyone? An entity who is nigh impossible to kill. An entity that used to be human. And suddenly the fake salvation starts to seem like an obvious choice. I was hooked from start to finish while reading Sweet Home. It offers us great characters and an engaging story, but its greatest accomplishment is that it will make you think about the unsettling questions. It will make you think about the humanity's ugliness and its beauty. It will make you think about your desire and nature. My interpretation of this situation is that the wish represents total escapism. When faced with adversity, the human mind naturally wishes to be rid of it and starts to look for something that will make them forget the pain. Instead of confronting their situation and thinking through their feelings, they escape into a fantasy. But it's a false respite. It just pushes your negative emotions to the back of your mind, where they can fester into something more terrible and crueler. It will leech you of your emotions and make you hollow as you lose your sense of reality and lose your human connections. You'll forget to treat your loved ones with the care and attention they deserve. Frankly, it will turn you into a monster. Even though it feels cliche, but hope truly is the catalyst that keeps us going. Even the slightest shred of hope that it'll get better can keep us on our feet in the toughest of times. Sweet Home is undoubtedly one of the most human stories I've ever read. If you can handle dark themes, then you should definitely give this one a chance. Thanks for watching. Trampling Beast signing off.